I'm back. I'm back out in the field. I'm doing a resi. Things are coming back to me. So I'm not real happy here at the moment. I got I had a job, brand new construction here. Beautiful, beautiful job. This customer has been patiently waiting for their garage doors with the whole stuff going on. It's been like a month or so. And I just opened up this package. I normally don't do the 9000 series doors through Wayne Dalton. This job, I had to do it. I had to do it. Let me see if I can get you a little sneak peek here. But I had to do it. Low headroom, 3 doors on this job site. I don't have all the doors here. Job's just falling apart on me. But let me show you. Let me show you. Let's just see that roof over there? Yeah, that's the guy. And the corners, corner, super tight, super tight. So this is where the Torque Master comes in. It was the only setup I could do to make it happen. I have to do low headroom track. And it's just, obviously this one's for this door in here. This one's beautiful. Look at this one. This one's just beautiful. It got the lights in here. Like I said, he even had ladders. Oh man, this job's great. But then, I open up this package and I absolutely hate when manufacturers put them back to back and the faces are out. That's for, look at, there could be damage right there because that cardboard got hit. And look, I got road rash. I call it road rash. I've already tried to wipe this off. I don't think it's gonna come off. I got the wife out bringing me some Simple Green to help clean it up a little bit. Oh, God darn it. This is why I hate the 9600s. Well, this is not even a 96 anymore. They call it something else. And I guess it's even worse. It's a 9605. They go up fast. The hinges are built on them, but I just, these little things, guys, these little things just, I mean, at least we, I know the wonderful secretary did this. She ordered it with the adjustable hardware. Now they changed something. Look at this. Look at that bracket. Isn't that crazy? It's got on it, it's 12 inch and then there's 15. I'm assuming I got it in the right spot. We'll see when I put it together. I don't know if I like that or don't. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about that. Is that a good idea or is that a bad idea? It's kind of ugly in a sense, but oh, I'm just so bummed, man. You wait so long for these doors and then now you're here at the job site. And I'm not even going to play games. I'm going to get some magnets. I'm going to set some magnets on there for right now so he can see it because he's not here. And I'm going to set the magnets on it so he can look at it first before I go putting holes in this door because everything's just crazy with getting stuff. I mean, I'm just happy to see that we have weather seal here. I mean, the weather seal's been getting ridiculous to get it from the vendors. So anyways, I'm going to get to it. You know, the old built-in hinges. Try to do my best, Lord. So that's all we can do. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to rock and roll this baby, and we're going to make it happen. Okay, so I want to show you something real quick. And the 96, if you're not familiar with them, the 9605 used to be 9600. Supposedly, I've heard that the 9605s are actually a little bit thinner, maybe in the center. They've, I don't know. I don't think they made improvements. I think they made them a little bit cheaper. Not like a super bad door. I mean, they work. They do the job. It's just they don't take impacts. They don't bounce back at all. But anyways, with these hinges, let's take a look. So right here, when you install these hinges, make sure that you put your screws, always make it so it's kind of tight. It doesn't seem like you want that in theory, but I've had these sections before where they show light through here, where they come together at the top. So when you install that hinge, make sure it's pulled up. And then what I've learned is also like this guy right here, I always do the top and I always veer it up a little bit. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to make this just cramp down, but I'm just saying you got to get this snugged. So I always do the center first and then I do my outers there. It's just a lot easier. It makes it'll compress everything. This one was almost not hitting the little spots, so I really went for the corner of it and I sucked it down. Maybe I can show you on the top panel when I get to that one. We'll see if I get there or not. But they go together really fast. There's no doubt about that. But They just got some little quirks to them. Like I said, they're good. They're not bad. They work. They do the job. There's just certain things like the packaging. You know, it's nice that they come in all this cardboard. You think the cardboard would save them, but it's like for the life of them, they put all that cardboard on, but they can't put an extra piece of strip of that paper or the sticky stuff on here. They can't put an extra layer of this stuff on. You know, just right in the center, you know, to help protect it. It's just little things like that. I mean, I'm almost tempted to let the secretary know, have him get another section just to be safe. In the worst case, he's got an extra section. I mean, and that costs that company money. I mean, I don't want to do that to the company, you know. But if he calls me out, and then with stuff going on, it might be 2-3 months before we even get a bottom section for him. So, anyways, something to keep in mind. Okay, so another thing, if you're not familiar with Torque Master, there's actually a spring in this tube. Sticker always goes on the left. I don't see, it's like they don't advertise it anymore for the newbies. The newbies that always used to say left-hand side. I just know from experience. I'm surprised that I'm just not seeing. Maybe you see it and I don't. I'm not seeing left-hand. I used to have it on a big old yellow sticker, or bright sticker. This is kind of a junkier sticker now. It's like they got cheap. So what I like to do is, before I get this all pinned up, is I actually like to set it, because this is actually a fixed bar and I need to get the width on that top bracket and that top bracket to the right width. So I like to do this right about now. I kind of did something different this time. It wasn't too bad. I normally don't like to fight getting these cables on when the doors already started stacking, because the problem is, whatever you do, don't ever take those out. You take that out of that drum, you'll never get it back in there. If you do, it'll take you a day and a half, let's just say, to get that cable back in that drum. It's pretty much possible. So what I did is I just fed it on the back side of the roller, kind of got it in there, popped it through each one's. So right now it's just hanging, kind of like you normally would do on a typical door. I just don't like being on my knees and fighting them down there and a screwdriver and that, so I kind of cheated. So anyways, I'm gonna go get this thing. Best way I found for these is just take a razor blade, take that, bada bing, the rubber's off. This is just to keep the spring in there. There's actually a spring in that tube. And yeah, I'll set you down and we'll get started on this. So this door probably only has one spring on it. And as you can see, there's a spring. Oh, it's actually got 2 springs on it. Sometimes one's just a dummy. Yeah, there's that one. There's that one. Oh, nice. I never had it done it this way. Vice grips. Work them all. Clankety stuff with it. What was the ratcheting? All that fun stuff. Like I said, it's been a while, I forgot. I gotta put my center bracket on. Okay, so I wanted to show you. I want to show you this hinge as it's raw, and you can see this is real common with the 9000 series doors. Is they're crooked and whatever, but see, when you push that up there, that door is actually sinking just a little bit. But see how, like this one right here, this finger I'm pointing, I can just see the crown of it. So let me show you. Let's grab some screws, shall we? Where's my screws? There they are. Grab gun. All right. So, how can I do this and do this? Okay, so I'm gonna really dive it up in there. Well, I don't like that so much. Let me get this off a little bit. There it is. There it is. It's right there. I mean, it's like right there. The tip is just in it. So I want that to hit right there. Oh, sucked it right down. Another one's lined up. You just do the ones right where the pre-cut out, I guess you would call it. So right there, boom. Same thing, like I said, do the top one first. Lift up on it a little bit with your thumb. This one, same situation. You can actually see, this is a great example. This door right now is showing light. So this is where you gotta get this thing squished down. You gotta get this squished down, because this is the one they'll see. I don't know how this happens, why this happens, but it's almost like the panel's warped. It's like a 2x4. When you sight down it, that's just how these are. And this is the worst one to have light. So you really gotta make sure you pay attention and go slow on this, because this thing will turn into Swiss cheese on you real fast. There's not a lot of thick metal on this. So just a couple little pointers for you. Okay, so I wanted to show you what it looks like. This is the ratcheting part that goes on the end. I already got one installed over here, and I ran out a little bit of room, so I ended up taking a track bolt and making it work. It's pretty typical for this setup that you run out of space on the beam here, and there's no extra wood in this building except for that. I'm not going to use that. So I just made it work. This side, I think, will work a little better. A little bit of meat. I need to pre-drill it. There's a blow the thing. Now just remember, when you take this out, don't drop this, because this is very, 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 very important. Otherwise, this actually what happens is this falls out. And then if you're like me, I always forget which way it went. Does it cut? Does it which way? And then it screws you all up, and then you're not happy. And you go home, and you're cranky. Okay. So it's got a little tab right here, where my thumb, or whatever finger you want to call that is. And that's got a clip in there, so you got to kind of wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Sometimes you get lucky. Okay, so it kind of bit in there. But I'm going to have to put you down so I can use my 2 hands. So anyways, it kind of clips on there. Get it locked in there. And just kind of get your bolt in here. I'm going to throw a lag in both these. Pre-drill them. Oh, I forgot to I did this on the other side too. If you switch this a certain way, it gets it out of your way. Which helps. There we go. That landed on there just beautiful. Alright, back to her. Okay, we're looking like we're getting closer here. There's different ways you can do this for setting this guy up here. This is a cut end actually, and it shoves back in there. Then you set these are your set screws. Like I said, it's a little different than probably what you're used to. It works. Let's just say it works. So what I do is I count. Don't take my advice. I just do what I do. Oh, am I going the right way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 15. It's not normally what I would do, but like I said, those other two doors back there, I just had no other option. I did all the figuring I could. I could have done rear mount. Didn't want to do rear mount. I just don't like the cables on rear mount. I don't like the cables running up the side. To be quite honest, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I've done it, and I'm sure I'm going to do it again in the future. But I just don't like them for kids. I just feel like there's something you can stick your hands into with those brackets at the bottom. If you guys ever had outside hookups, it's just, I just don't like them. I've had them before cut me. I've had them before where I've been sitting there, you know, I push like a wall button on the side, and all of a sudden it catches my arm, cuts my wrist. look like a suicidal person, you know, have to go to the hospital. And what'd you do to your wrist, sir? Garage door, outside hookups, cut me. Sure it did. So anyways, I think I was probably gonna wrap it up for this. I gotta do some back hangs. There really isn't too much more exciting going on here, but I just want to kind of give you the overall of the 9605 and the Torque Master. So it'll work good. The pitfall about the Torque Master 2 is you can't see the spring. So when it breaks, the door will just be heavy or the opener will start destroying itself. So anywho, get to her. Okay, so let me jump in here just for one more thing. So I think I understand now what changed between the 9600 that used to be to the 9605. And what it is, let's see a little farther view, is I actually believe that these doors have gone even a little bit cheaper. The thickness here, this used to be a lot thicker. I about guarantee it. And so what I've heard through the secretary was that they basically took a 9100 and then just put steel back on it. So that's where the 96 is not really as good as it used to be. It doesn't have as much strength in a nutshell. Secretary, you got to order these things extra. She does a great job. Got a side lock. This customer is really all prepped and ready for an opener. I think he kind of wants to do it himself, save some money, whatever, that's fine. Totally understandable. But the fact that I have this side lock, my van is actually in the shop today getting fixed. So the fact that this is here, since I don't got my normal work van, is like godsend. I mean, this is great. So I'm gonna put the side lock on right over here, and that'll help me peek and secure it that way. But what I really wanted to get at was these brackets. Where are they at? They're there. So let me scoot this ladder a little bit. Doesn't that always happen? I mean, it's always. I got to get some pouches and stuff. I just really do. Oh, gravity's winning today. Okay, so this is far enough. So this is the bracket that they normally send you. This strut, to be honest, is really goofy. It's not all the way up here. I don't got it all screwed in yet. But it's like a half. Really, it should just be a full. It doesn't sit on there the best, but it's just what they sent me. So, but anyways, what I like about this is this clamps on the top. And that's for these particular doors. This is just, it is what it is. I like it because this is about the strongest point on these doors. And it does seem to work. Now, these, you know, God bless their heart for ordering them. It's better to have than not to have, especially when you're at the job. This spans, you know, it expands and would bolt here, and then it would bolt up here. I try to do these for last ditch effort, basically because what happens a lot of times when you put these on, sometimes they can kind of blow this whole panel out if that store ever fails. I hardly ever see up here them, I mean, I'm not saying they can't kink them or anything, but I hardly ever see them. There's a lot more strength up here than there is just in the center of this guy. Kinker. Anyways, so I particularly like this bracket. Now it's a little goofy because you don't put your J, you do something, the instructions tell you whatever. I just do it however I feel it's comfortable, and I just pay attention and watch it. So I like to go with this bracket for the operator. So I'll get that on there for him so he's all set and ready to go. But I do steer away from these, as these are just called like a last ditch. It's almost, to me, it's like if you lose this or for some reason this gets compromised or this peels apart, which isn't very common, but I just, there's not that much meat in here. So it's just not that strong. And I really don't understand why, like I said, they don't send you just a 3-inch strut. I said this half strut thing because it doesn't make no sense. I mean, there's plenty of room for it to have a lip in there with this top bracket. Yeah. So, good morning, friends. It's the day after that install, the 9605 there. And I wanted to give you a little overview on it. I didn't, you know, I don't want you to ever take my videos too seriously or understand that I'm not trying to be negative on it. Everything has a place, right? I always like to use either silverware or I always like to use cars in my example. So I think of a plastic fork has a a place in life, and so does a metal fork. That's just how I think. So the 9605 has a place, and this is its place. But I just want you to understand what you're getting with a 9605. I personally is not the door I would run to, but this situation called for it. It was the best outcome I could find for this particular job, and I wanted them to be all the same. I could have changed out the one door to a different model, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be all the same. I'm sure it's like a guy that runs a farm and he has all John Deere, so he can just go to the John Deere dealer and get his John Deere parts or whatever he needs, filters and whatnot. It's kind of the same thing. So anyways, take that with a grain of salt. Hope you guys are doing great. Happy to see you. Hope everybody's doing well. And I'm going to carry on. So if you don't mind, hit that like button on the way out, possibly. And then if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Love to have you here. It's great to see you here. And I enjoy having you here. And I love reading you guys' comments when I can. My phone's glitchy sometimes. It doesn't always come through. Just like with emails. I'm not always getting my emails like I'm supposed to. I don't know if it's just because my phone's getting plugged up or what's going on. But I try to do my best. So, and I was happy to answer the gentleman's yesterday about the rollers, nylon and whatnot, to use them or not. And like I said, everything has a situation that it calls for. You just have to be the craftsman to know when to use the nail and when to use the screw, right? I mean, you gotta know, that's our job. So, anywho, take care. We'll see you on the next one, and bye.